want it all. Life for the famous, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm so shameless. Promised I wouldn't let it go once I grabbed it. But now I want more, and I'ma have it.
Hey, what's up? LockEmUp Hoops, Realistic Randy from Mastermind and Bowlberry. Game 6 is tonight, NBA Finals. Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors at Quicken Loans Arena. Game 5, LeBron James showed that he was the king with all the noise and all the pressure and all the trash talking going on, including for myself, because the NBA's efforts to come up with an excuse to suspend Draymond Green was complete bogus, even though Mastermind says it was the absolute right call to make. Bowlberry, let's go to you. The news right now, so Draymond Green is definitely back. We know that without a doubt after serving the one-game suspension in Game 5. However, Andrew Bogut is now out for the rest of this series after J.R. Smith collided with him driving to the basket. He doesn't require surgery. However, he's out for the rest of the playoffs. The finals, he's done.
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, Bowlberry, what do you make of Andrew Bogut being out and Draymond Green being back in? Is it a big deal with Bogut being out?
Yeah, I would say that's a big deal. I mean, having Bogut out, that's also kind of similar to having Draymond Green now. Last game, you have a lot to fill now. You have a 7-footer that's not down there now. You're missing out on potentially 4 blocks in one quarter, having a potential game like that and just, stopping things in the middle. So it's a big deal. It's going to affect them a little bit, but I don't know as much because they still go a little like small ball. So Bogut comes in and stretches so they can still fill in that void with a little bit of Festus Fazili, even though, I question his IQ at times. He's a genius, I think he went to Harvard, but
Vanderbilt,
sorry. He's a genius, but I don't, I'm not trusting him as filling that role for an Andrew Bogut. This is going to be a tough game going in to Cleveland here. They gave up a lot here. There's a lot of space, a lot of cover. Draymond Green, hopefully that crowd doesn't get to him and he's on top of his game and he locks up LeBron. But Bogut, that's a big hit. It's definitely a big hit for him on the defensive end. I don't know about offensively as much. Obviously, he doesn't shoot, but defensively, that's a big loss. So I'll chime in a little bit after you.
Yeah, I agree. It's a loss, but we know that he doesn't finish the games, and it's about how they finish. So I do think the first quarter, he definitely sets the defensive tone with his blocks and he does catch a lot of alley-oops off of Steph and Draymond sometimes. So he'll definitely be missed and felt. Draymond's gonna need help down low again. So without him there, we know he's 6'7", as good as a defender he is. You can't make up the height for that. So Fazili, like you said, will have to play a lot, but he has to play a lot smarter in space. We have space, but Stephen A. made a good comparison. He's like J.R. Smith with a jump shot because if his jump shot's not falling, he's not going to play anything else. He won't play defense exactly. So the big Anderson Varejao, he's pretty good as well. I think he's past his prime too, and he's a big flopper. So the game revolves around him once he's in the game. So it's kind of annoying watching him sometimes.
All that hair.
Yeah, I think he'll play some big minutes too. And one thing that Bogut is underrated. He's underrated on passes. He's one of the best passers as a big man in this league. So he does cut. He does hit Draymond, Steph, and Clay on a lot of cuts. So those will need to be filled. But it's definitely a big loss. I think he'll be felt early on. But I think just Draymond's intensity, I think they only need him. There's only 2 more games left possibly. So I think they'll be fine without him if they do go to Game 7. That's my take on Bogut's injury, though.
Let me start with Andrew Bogut real quick. It is a loss, and he's been making plays here and there. But if I'm not mistaken, hasn't he been dealing with injuries throughout these finals anyway? He hasn't been playing much. Yeah, he hasn't been playing much minutes. He hasn't been playing many minutes overall through these finals. I mean, for the most part, it's Draymond Green, Azili, Mo Spates. They keep rotating. Anderson Varejao. It's like, a carousel at the center position. So I think it's a loss, but it's not that much of a loss considering the fact that he wasn't playing that much, for most of these playoffs. I think Festus Ezeli, he's been looking starstruck out there when he has. I don't know who this guy
Makes
is.
no sense.
He looks like he's just playing basketball for the
Last
first
year.
time.
Losing some money is off
So
season. I
yeah,
know that.
so
Yeah.
maybe he'll get a chance if he is going to start. That'd be great. I wouldn't be shocked or I wouldn't be opposed if you have Draymond at the 5, and here's why: because Tristan Thompson, if you force Tristan Thompson to guard Draymond Green, outside or even just anywhere away from the basket, that's a plus to the Golden State Warriors, because the reason why he got that big time contract, which I still think is a complete aberration, is a complete dumpster fire of a contract, is the fact that he can get rebounds, especially offensive rebounds. So if you can force Tristan Thompson
Force him
to
outside the paint.
force him outside the paint, and then you have Harrison Barnes. Kevin Love is going to D himself up. We already know this for
Kevin
now.
Love's checked out.
So he's checked out for whatever it is. So it's like, okay, then you just put it in the hands of Harrison Barnes and Andre Iguodala to get rebounds. I think you have a shot with that. But there's the alternative of putting Festus Ezeli out there as well. I don't think it'd be, completely insane to have a starting 5 of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Andre Iguodala, and Draymond Green, because I think that would give the Golden State Warriors a bigger advantage. As far as
their death lineup, so
yeah, that was the lineup last year in the NBA Finals. Specifically, Draymond Green, I owe Mastermind a huge apology when he asked me, if you take Draymond Green out the lineup of the Golden State Warriors, would it be a loss? I said it'll be a little bit of a loss, but I think they would be just fine. Game 5 was a complete disaster inside the paint for the Golden State Warriors. Defensively, they were just giving up everything. I mean, LeBron James was just killing it. Everybody was. Tristan Thompson was getting boards. Everybody was just feasting out there, in the paint at Oracle Arena. So now that he's going to be back, I think, that can set the tone, and
that changes a lot.
It does change a lot. So, Bo Berry, let's go back to you. You said you wanted to chime in, after that. Draymond Green, he's back. He's saying that if you heard, if you've been watching ESPN or whatnot, he said if I was here Game 5, I'm of the mindset that we would have won. Do you believe that?
Yep.
Oh, I truly believe that, like 100%. I mean, Draymond Green had gotten in the King's head. That last game, I felt like that game was theirs to take if Draymond Green was playing. I am a firm believer in that. I mean, look what he does for that team. We all see the difference in even how LeBron James played as a whole. He attacked the rim a lot more. He was more comfortable going down there, doing what he wanted. It honestly looked like 2006 when he was playing against the Pistons and had that like 48-point outburst. Like that whole game, it just looked just like that. It was eerily similar to that. So Draymond Green not being there had LeBron James have flashes of 2006, which, I mean, he does this, but it just looked way too easy for him. So Draymond Green being back, that's a huge difference for the Warriors right there. Like, he's going to lock up LeBron, like we also mentioned, I think, when we discussed about Draymond Green being a top 10 player, and we said who we're going to put on LeBron. And you were like, the Finals MVP, Iguodala, 35 points a game guy.
Okay.
But I get what he does though. He plays D, but we're talking about Draymond, so
a guy that just meets someone at the rim. Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh man, damn.
You're saying you're saying now that Draymond Green's back, now he can lock up LeBron like he's guarding LeBron from end to end.
No, put up 35. I'll tell you that.
And
for sure.
Draymond,
I'm not gonna put 40. Sorry.
I don't think you want to, and you don't want to put Draymond on him the whole game anyway, because he's a lot quicker than him too. So Draymond,
what are you doing?
When he attacks that pitch,
yeah,
I get that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about being on the help, on the switches, because we're not saying like, all right, put Draymond Green face up with LeBron. Hell no, that's crazy. We see what happens with that, but still, him being there and being able to switch when he attacks the rim, because we all know LeBron James attacks the rim.
Yes,
that's what he's there for.
Yeah.
So,
you guys already know how I feel about this. I think Draymond is. I think he is the heart and soul. He's the nucleus of that team. Without him, they don't go as well. So,
he is not the same.
With him there, like Bo Berry mentioned, his help defense is incredible. If someone's beat, he's right there to pick them up. So LeBron and Kyrie, they were just eating at the paint. I mean, Kyrie shot, what was it, 17 for 24,
right?
70%, and LeBron went 16 for 30, and that's a really high percent. That's about 50% as well. So
There's no reality down there.
there's no one down there to just to stop those guys from driving. The rebounding, just the fact that he attempts to steal, block, and just his edge is just so much.
Alters everything.
This team as a whole, I wouldn't call the Warriors soft without him, but it's a whole nother team when he's just not there. It's just different. It looks different to me. It's not the same.
Much different.
So
Yeah.
it's exactly. He just gives them that edge. He plays with that edge. That's why he got suspended. So he gives that team, you know, certain boundaries. He crosses those boundaries for this team to get over the W. So
Except for that suspect, you know.
And I want to say, and we'll talk about LeBron and Kyrie in the next segment. They went off in Game 5. It was absolutely fantastic. But we got some time left, and I know that we didn't plan for this. This is a little bit of impromptu as far as what I'm about to ask you guys right now. But Steph Curry, unanimous MVP. The man, I'm back, and now we're hearing rumblings, injuries and everything like that. Let me start this off real quick. Let me start this off. So everyone that's been watching this show, and if you're new watching this show, I've been a big proponent. Steph Curry is my favorite player to watch. I love watching the Golden State Warriors. Not a bandwagon fan, as a lot of people like to address me as, but that's okay. I can take the heat. Steph Curry, the reason why he's my favorite player is because unlike LeBron James, Steph Curry is more so he just puts his head down and he just focuses on playing basketball and he lets his game do the talking. However, most of these playoffs, I've been very key as far as to point out how passive he's been for most of these playoffs. Now, Game 5, he shot 21 shots. I mean, what did he go, 8 for 21? He shot 21 shots, but I don't know what's going on with this dude. I think the only time this dude shows up, I don't want to hear that he's hurt. I don't want to hear nothing about that he's hurt because you cannot sit here, go, what was it, Game 4 in Portland? In Portland, I'm back, would put up 40 and then be like, oh, I'm hurt. And he's not saying that he's hurt, but I don't want to hear nothing as far as from anyone saying, oh, he's hurt. Oh, there's this excuse and that excuse. And Massmire, you talked about this before we even started recording. Last year in the NBA Finals, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, you want to talk about hurt? They didn't even play in the finals. Now we see Kevin Love. We see it probably wouldn't have made a difference anyway. But Kyrie Irving, he wasn't there. So how can we sit there if you're available to play in these finals, and especially the fact that you said I'm here, I'm back. If he never said that, I would say okay, maybe you have a point. But you can't sit here and just be like, look at me, rub it in everyone's faces, and then suddenly be like, oh, I don't know what's going on with me. So, Massman, let's go to you real quick. Steph Curry, man. Unanimous MVP. Boberry, you deserve to wait on this. You're the Steph Curry apologist right now.
I'm a big fan, like you said. I'm a big fan of Steph Curry as well, and I'm a little disappointed. I know he's averaging about 22 points a game this finals, which is very good for some people, but not for that guy.
Yeah.
He was averaging 30 points a game this year. Unanimous MVP, back-to-back MVP. I mean, I want to see this guy play well. I want to see him get this Finals MVP, and it doesn't look like he's going to get it if they win. So I'm just like you. I don't want to hear he's hurt. Kyrie Irving played one game last year, one game. So listen, you're talking about he's hurt. Curry played 40 minutes. If you're playing 40 minutes, you're available. He took 21 shots. He hit 5 threes. He's here. He's playing. I just think it's something about mentally. Maybe it's something that the Cavaliers defense is doing that he hasn't seen. I don't know what.
I don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to hear that.
They're doing something to stop him. Maybe it's too much Kyrie killing him. I don't know what it is, but he's not looking like the MVP that I know, and he did miss a lot of big shots that he usually hits in Game 4 that he missed out. So I'm sorry, in Game 5 that he missed. So I'm disappointed in him right now. He still has tonight to prove himself, just like LeBron proved himself last game. He has the same opportunity. So. This is a big game for Curry and his I'm not gonna say career, but if he wins, he has to play well for this team to win in general. So
he needs to validate that unanimous MVP.
Exactly.
Bo Berry, Curry apologist. Explain yourself.
Sick man.
Look here, fellas. We all know what happened to Steph Curry. We know that he's technically hurt and he's playing. We get it.
That excuse, though?
It's not an excuse because he's playing. So it's not an excuse. It's just that what's happening, like you said, he's averaging 20 points a game in the finals, right? Last year he averaged 26 healthy, right? He got hurt this year. He has his little 38-point explosions, and then we're happy. That's the other day we were like, oh, who's Steph Curry? What's this? And he had that 38-point game, and shut us all up. So I just sit back and I enjoy the show. It's just one of those things where I think we're holding on too much to that I'm back thing because he technically hit a big shot. He had a great few stretches of 3-pointers there, and he was amped, and that was off of motion after coming back from an injury. I mean, come on, like
40.
The guy was amped. I get it. 40.
And he had 38 in game 3.
But then he probably all right. So what?
What do you mean?
Selective you're doing right now.
So what, man? It's one of those things where look, the man. Some days he might feel all right, and the other days that knee might be
3 days off.
He's getting surgery, man. He's getting surgery at the end of the season. He's not doing the Olympics, man. He's doing all this stuff for a reason. So he's clearly, whatever, man.
No one's going to the Olympics. I think that's been proven.
Stuff like that. But that's been proven for other things.
No one wants to get sick, right?
But yeah,
I got a question.
And then we're gonna talk about distractions. I mean, yeah. I feel like he may be distracted by, a personal thing, possibly. Wow. Whoever that girl is, man.
So speculation now.
Man.
Speculation.
I'm not speculating anything. It's just that.
But you are. That is speculation. There's no fact behind it. Go ahead.
Bogut, you know how you always like, oh, there's no pass for LeBron James for losing that finals last year. Why are we giving him? You don't want to give him a pass. So how are you going to give Steph a pass? And he's playing.
For having a semi-bad game, like, I guess, like, he had to win. He's going to win it.
The only times that Steph Curry seems to show up is when he has the weight of the world just coming at him like you're supposed to, like what we're doing right now. You remember after game 3, when they got smashed by 30, we're like, all right, yo, what is up with you? And then he came back and put up 38. It seemed, and I don't want to hear nothing about this defense and they're doing this and that. He is the unanimous. He's seen every defense possible. He is the unanimous MVP, which means that there is no excuse. And like you said, Mastermind, we can't sit here, Bogut, and say, well, LeBron this and LeBron that, because you're right. LeBron, throughout most of his finals, he has choked up and not shown up many times. Steph Curry is doing the same thing as we speak, where it just seems like, I don't know, it just seems like he's just not into it. It seems like his focus, his aggression isn't there. I don't know what it is, but it seems like once the whole world is coming after him, like, oh, like now you're validating all the haters saying you're just a jump shooter, or you're this and that. Then he comes out and he's like, all right, now do I need to remind y'all who I am?
And that's what I'm saying. Just sit back, sip your tea, and wait till tomorrow. Wait till tonight.
And no one said it could be Kyrie effect. He is killing this man.
I mean, Russell.
He just went up against Russell Westbrook too in the last finals too.
He was getting, and he went against Damian Lillard too.
Right.
Kyrie's cranking up the, the music. He's making them dance.
Oh yeah.
He's doing everything. We get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's doing way things. He's making him look bad.
So,
and I get that. Kyrie's a bad man. I've never spoke bad about Kyrie. It's that man LeBron. But
now
he's doing his thing.
So now everyone can officially get off my back as far as calling me a Steph Curry apologist when we have Bo Berry, the official Steph Curry apologist of LockEmUp Hoops, coming up next. Anything to not get LeBron a ring. That's what he's going to do. Coming up next.
38 tonight, man. It's all good.
We'll talk LeBron and Kyrie Irving. They went off in Game 5. Will they continue that hero ball in Game 6? This is LockEmUp Hoops podcast. Realistic Randy, Mastermind, and Bo Berry.
I want it all. Life for the famous, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm so shameless. Promised I wouldn't let it go once I grabbed it, but now I want more, and I'ma have it. Champagne dreaming, campaign teaming, so much.